G'day everyone, I'm Smokescreen and welcome back to another video. Now this one's actually kind of unexpected. It was, I don't know, it was a weird thing. Alright, so the story goes, I was just playing, doing daily races one night, and I was about to turn it off and I thought, oh, let's see what lobbies are on the main lobby page, and there was this one. It was Group 4 at Catalunya. So I just thought, yeah, why not, let's have a race, let's just finish the night off with a victory. So I joined, and normally when you join just a random lobby, you're often it's often like kids or, you know, lower level players just mucking around, and that's what I thought it was. So I just jumped in, and this is it, and it's made a video. So somehow, some way, some, I don't know, mystery of the universe, it turned out to be interesting enough, and I'm really glad I did it. Now there's the guy currently in second, Tommy 181101, had an amazing battle. He's the guy that pretty much made this footage worthy of becoming a video. So if you're watching, thank you very much for that battle. I really appreciate the fact that it was kept fairly clean enough, I guess. And yeah, I hope you enjoy, and I hope I've done the race justice with editing. So this is the qualifying session. It was 10 minutes of qualifying. Now you have a look at my times on the right hand side. Didn't quite get off to the right start. I got damage on my out lap, so I had to abandon a proper fast lap, and I had to go into the pits and repair the damage. But we come back out, and this is the qualifying lap now. Now we're on racing super soft tyres, so the softest racing tyre you can get in the game. The race will have tyre wear and fuel use, but no pit stops. So don't need to worry about that. But we're going to come through the final sector now. Of course, we're at Catalunya, Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix layout. It was a daily race a few weeks ago, and I think this was actually the same week of those races where this footage was made. But we come around the final corner, and we're going to cross the line. You see that my qualifying time is 52.1, straight into pole position by nearly 2 seconds. So we skip ahead to the end of the session now. I'm just waiting because I didn't do another fast lap, and everyone's going to come around to go across the line. So here I was just watching that leaderboard. We actually had the guy that was in second drop out. So it's just the 7 of us now. But come around, have a look in the bottom left hand corner of the screen. You see everyone's qualifying times popping up. Now you remember I had a 52.1, so we're going to be watching out for times like that. So there's a 59.7 that's crossed the line. Then have a look on the mini map on the top right. A couple more people coming to cross the line. No improvement for the second to last guy, and then the last guy's about to cross the line. Does he have an improvement? He does not. No improvement there. So I've snagged pole by 2 seconds. So basically that was all that was. I just, you know, I didn't come into this lobby expecting to have a beautiful race, an amazing race at all. I expected to just come in and kind of dominate and let everyone, you know, go in the back. But you see, yeah, the guy down in 8th DNF, he was in second, but he dropped out and was overtaken by Tommy 10. Forgotten the numbers already. It'll come up on the screen in a second. So there's the grid. There I am on pole, Tommy 181101 in the Corvette Group 4. Of course it's Group 4, I actually didn't mention that. I've gone for the Ford Mustang in a Will Davison supercar livery, Milwaukee Racing supercar livery on a Ford. Of course that's replicating the actual car there. Now, standing start. We're going to go through the race, start to finish. It was an absolute amazing race. Off the line, a little bit of TCS to get us off the line, but then that's it. So we got those racing super soft tyres, really help push into the road on the way off the line there. So that really helps us. We're on the outside of turn 1, which is normally not how pole position works, but oh well. Hopefully we don't get lunged into turn 1. No, we have turn 1 and 2 to ourselves, about half a second ahead of Tommy at the moment. So BOP was on, so there's no need to worry about anyone tuning up their cars, and you can choose, I think you could have chosen any racing tyre. I went for super softs, but we'll see later whether that was actually the right decision. So we're going to follow the lap 1 action now. Now basically all I expected, lap 1 was to just pull away from the group, and then the rest of the laps would be me lapping on my own up ahead of the group, but it wasn't the case. Hence the fact it's made a video. So keep an eye on the gap between me and Tommy at the moment. Still about half a second as we head up towards turn 7, or turn 7 and 8, the little bit of a chicane here. That's turn 7, and then turn 8 is this right-hander, heading up towards Campsa. I was weak through Campsa when I was doing the daily races, but I was actually okay, well not that particular time, but most of the times through there during this race I was okay. So we've still got eyes firmly behind, Tommy about 3/10 behind at the moment. Got to hit the braking point for Lakasha now, and then hopefully get around here okay. Now I was really using the braking points for the daily race, but I was on those super soft tyres which really enhance braking because they grip better. That's super soft, that's softer the tyre, the grippier they are because they can mould to the shape of the road a bit better. Going through Europe car, a little bit wide, but it's not to worry. We still managed to keep first place. Going through the chicane here, there's not really any opportunity to overtake through that final sector just because it's so sort of narrow and tight and twisty. There's not really anywhere to go. And then by the final corner, we were 7/10 ahead. So at this point, I was really thinking, you know, honestly, I've really got this one, but I just joined this lobby. I actually didn't really double check the settings, and I think they had like weak slipstream on. So the way the slipstream setting works, real is the weakest, then there's weak, and then there's strong, and I think they had it set on weak, which is stronger than real for. I know that's confusing, but that means you can pick up a lot of slipstream from a long way back. But you see coming on the start of lap 2, Tommy nearly loses it on the outside there. Just excellent car control by Tommy there, and was able to keep that car on the track and keep that car under control, and he's still in my slipstream, 5/10 behind. I think with this weak slipstream, I think you've really got to get up to 2 seconds ahead before they're not feeling slipstream, and I really think that slipstream setting helped keep me and Tommy together, as the pair of us have actually streaked away from the rest of the group a little bit, although there's only 7 cars here, so it's all good, not too much of a worry here. But going through Verth there, he's made a little bit of a mistake. I caught out 1.1 seconds, and then I had to get Campsa right, which, did I do so? I got it okay. I had to have a major lift after meeting the apex there, as to not run wide, but we managed to actually get through there okay. And this is the end of lap 2, so the race is actually going fairly quickly now, and then we're going to come through this final sector as well. We can see how strong he is through here. So he was 1.1 seconds through Campsa, and now by now coming into turn 13 he's 8/10 behind, so he's probably stronger through the turns 11 and 12. Bank to Sabadell is turn 12. I think he's stronger through there. He can just carry a little bit more speed through there, and that may be down to the differences in cars as well. So he of course is driving that Chevrolet Corvette, as you can see right there, and I go to the inside, nearly drive into the dirt. Forgot there was dirt on the inside. I thought it was just the wall. He doesn't follow my slipstream until quite a bit later though, but it's alright. He's catching in the radar, and I hope I haven't broken too late. No, he gets set into turn 1 nicely, and still pretty much line as set. I'm still in first place from the grid launch, and you can see that he's 2/10 behind as we speak now, going a little bit wide through turn 3, that's Renault, a little bit wide through there and not quite able to get on the power early enough, and you can see he's actually caught up quite a lot of time. It was less than a tenth there momentarily as we go through Repsol now, and he's looking up the inside nearly. Of course I'm looking down the radar. Have a look down at that radar. That blue arrow is Tommy. I'm of course the red arrow, which is why it's centered around me, clearly. Going through turn 5 now. Very easy to run deep there, but I think I learnt my lesson from the daily race I was doing in the same week. And then we're going to go into turn 7 and 8 now. Just keep an eye on that gap, still about 4/10. He's still right there, ready to pick up any pieces of a mistake that I may make. And of course those mistakes come from, well, they will come from tyre wear, to be honest, because as the tyres get more worn, you have to brake earlier, you can't carry as much speed, you can't get on the power quite as early, so the car kind of changes under the conditions of these tyre wear races. Meet the apex nicely for turn 10 there. On the power nicely that time. So these super soft tyres, they still have more grip for a longer period of time, but compared to how they were at the start, they're never the same again. On the power nicely out of turn 12 there, and still able to keep this lead. So just really trying not to make a mistake is really the key through Catalunya here, as it's a good track. I've said it before, I really enjoy Catalunya here, but it rewards not making mistakes because it's not really an overtaking track, so yeah, you kind of have to rely on your opponents to make a mistake, before you can actually make any real gains here. And I'm right on the inside going defensive into turn 1. We're going to try and spot that braking point. It's just the black block box on the fence, and I've just out-broke myself just a little bit, or quite a bit actually, and go way deep. I have to enter the track before the exit of turn 2, otherwise I'll get a nice penalty for corner cutting. And you can see Tommy's actually just made himself into the lead. So at this point here I was like, well, maybe he might streak away with this, because he's got a second on me, but of course we discussed that weak slipstream. No worries from the guy in third, 6 seconds behind, but I did feel as though that Tommy and I were fairly evenly paced, to be honest. I'm not really sure. He didn't quite set a very good representative qualifying lap, but he still put it on second place. Unless he was faster than me, that's all he was going to do anyway. So we're going to try and follow his slipstream now, just as I were for the first 3 laps. So exactly halfway through the race we were at the start of this lap. So we got to try and just keep behind now. We may feel the effects of dirty air a little bit, just because we've got that strong slipstream as well. So we're in the slipstream going into La Cocha now. Brake nice and early. No, we actually brake a little bit late, but meet the early apex. Meet the apex of the corner, but it's early relative to what you actually want to do. And he's looking up the inside for turn 11. Not a good place. Round the outside for turn 12. Side by side, but he's high and wide. Not quite able to carry quite as much speed and get on the power as early as I could, being on the inside. And I managed to just get that position back by virtue of quite frankly a unexpected dive bomb into turn 10 by me. But we managed by the end of the lap to get back into the lead. Now let's see, we're going to go sway over to the right hand side, go defensive, be careful not to run over that grass again. He's on the outside, not quite following my slipstream. If I were him, I would 100% be right behind the guy in first up the inside to hopefully try and get a cutback through turn 1 and 2. Very difficult to do, but you can do it. Braking side by side into turn 1, and he just goes around the outside on the entry to the corner. That's fair play to him, I guess. And I do actually manage to carry a bit more speed through turn 2, but he's right in the way. I'm not quite able to capitalise on that there. A couple of people dropping out of the race now, down to 6 players now, but it's all good. We're, as a pair, 10 seconds ahead. Looking up the inside towards turn 4. Do I manage to make this work? Up the inside, he just runs it a little bit wide. Is there any contact? I do give him a little bit of a bump. Sorry for that. I didn't see that while I was racing down into turn 10. Let's see. Dives up the inside. He gives me a return move. That is fair enough. We'll call that even now. He's in the lead. Now, I will say he did find, after the race, he did sort of find my channel, and hello if you're watching, did find my channel and apologise for that bump, I think, so good on him there. Look up the inside for Campser there, but I'll just back out of it, as Campser isn't really a good place to go side by side. Best place, or better place than Campser, is La Cocha, the following corner, where in the slipstream I try to go to the outside, but he goes to the outside to try and block me, so I just go to the inside, but I just run it a little bit deep, and he manages to cut right back. So, as a pair there, we both lost time, but that's alright. Not to worry, because the guy in third is 11 seconds behind, so we're not really going to lose. We're not really going to lose either first or second between us. But we're coming into the final lap, final sector of the second to last lap, run a little bit deep through Europe car there, but that's alright. And then we got the chicane rack now, a little bit too much speed there through turn 14. But it's alright, we get through there nicely. As long as we've got sort of within a second down the straight, then we're going to feel the effects of slipstream. And you're going to really see that this slipstream settings is just so OP. So we're going to head down the straight now. We're going to have a look at that speed now. 6th gear already, 240 k's an hour. We're pretty much going to hit 260 before the braking point. Going to brake really early because we've got those extremely worn super softs, and we had the overspeed from the slipstream. So we're 2 tenths behind now. We caught pretty much 8 tenths down one straight. It's now a 1-lap battle between me and Tommy here. Who's going to come out victorious? Is it going to be the Ford? Is it going to be the Chevrolet? Either way, it's going to be a USA victory, and I'm not quite sure what the guy in third is driving, but we just go a late braking manoeuvre into Repsol and manage to get that position back. Let's see what happens down into turn 5. Do I go defensive? I don't remember if I do. I don't. I do take the racing line, go slightly defensive. Just runs into the back of me a little bit there, but does he go past? Does he take the opportunity of me going a little bit wide? No, he just keeps it behind, so that was a fair move or fair play by him. Braking into turn 7 and 8 chicane now. Take it a little bit narrow through turn 7 and then turn 8. You don't want to get the whole car up onto that curb. That's a penalty waiting to happen. Campser now. Can we just get Campser right? Because it's a little bit of a straight down to La Caixa. Let's see. We get off there nicely. Just have a look down on that radar. As we look behind, you see I had a slight overspeed on the exit there. But he's in the slipstream. I'm down the middle of the circuit. Tries to go around the outside. Is it quite going to work? I don't know if it's going to work. No, he just runs it a little bit too deep. So he's behind for the final sector. It's looking good for me. Let's see, can we get through the final sector without a mistake? Because of course, 3/10 behind. Still ready to pick up any pieces of any mistake I may make, or I could get a penalty in the final chicane or spin out on the last corner. Very real situations there. Take a nice line through turn 13, get over the curbs nicely for the chicane, and then we've got turn 16, New Holland now. Can we get through here nicely? Of course, in these super soft tyres in Group 4, it's flat out through there, and it's going to come across the line, and it's going to be a victory after a very hard fought race. An excellent battle between me and Tommy there. Thank you so much for that. I said it in the lobby afterwards that was honestly, that was the best battle I had. Little taps here and there, but the main 2 taps were consecutive and by opposite players, so you know, I gave him a little bit of a bump, and then the following corner he gave me a bump. I thought that's fine. Bit of a bit of a revenge move there. But overall, that was an amazing race, and I'm glad that I had that little battle, and, you know, maybe I should randomly enter lobbies a little bit more often if it can get amazing videos like this. So there we go, celebrating the victory, and that's all this video was today. Just a little look at that race there, and once again, Tommy, thank you very much for that race. That was absolutely amazing, and so unexpected, especially at around 10 o'clock at night, which is when I was playing here. But I do thank you for watching, do thank you for getting this far into the video, do hit that like button to let me know you liked it, and do hit subscribe to see amazing videos like this in your subscription box every week. But that's going to be the end of the video today, and that means that is it from me. So once again, I do thank you very much for watching. See you later.